I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. What's up, everybody? Sorry. First item, minutes. First item.
Mr. Conover.
Here.
Mr. Mayday.
Here.
Mr. Diamond.
Here.
Ms. Gilligan. Here. Ms. Turner. Here. Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Driscoll.
Here.
Mr. Patchett.
Here.
Mr. Butler. Mr. Smith. Mr. Curcito.
Here.
Mr. Niles.
Here.
Mr. Stroud.
Here.
Mr. Wild.
Here.
Mr. Eaton.
Here.
Mr. Strainer.
Here.
Mr. Beatty.
Here.
Mr. O'Neill. Ms. Runyon. Here. Chairman Garrett.
Here.
Quorum is established.
Now I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the December 19th board meeting and January 6th organization. Supervisor Gilligan, second by Supervisor Turner. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next, I'd like to extend a privilege of Board of John Bo, Executive Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension. Award to
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Garrity, for allowing us this time, and welcome to all the new members of the board. For those of you that I haven't met, thanks for your support. For those of you that are new, I'd like to set up a time to come talk to you and tell you what Cornell Cooperative Extension does. On your desk, there is a report about the Cooperative Extension partnership with Sky Farm. That is a partnership that is the county campership program. So you can read all about that right there. But today, well, I want to recognize this young man right here, who is Brandon Kelly from Warrensburg. He's 15. He recently completed the MyPI, which stands for My Preparedness Initiative. It is a training for teens to learn about how to be involved in community emergency response. We worked with Anne Marie Mason over at the Office of Emergency Management. We worked with Dan Durkee at the Department of Health. And during this training, Brandon was responsible for learning about how to properly use a fire extinguisher, how to evaluate damage at a facility or a home should there be an earthquake, a tornado, what have you. He learned that you do not deploy yourself, you only are deployed should someone ask you within the emergency management system to go out and help. But secure your home first, and then secure your neighbors. So part of that was going and surveying 7 households about, do you have an emergency management kit? Where is it? What do you have in your kit? Do you have a communications plan should something happen and you have to reach out to family or friends to let them know you're okay or you're not okay and this is what for help. So overall, he completed about 60 hours of training, including getting certified in first aid through Red Cross and through Dan Durkee, getting aware of emergency communications. We worked with the Warren County Amateur Radio Club, and then also doing a series of practical hands-on activities. So Brandon, if you'd like to come up, we've got an award for you here. If you get, to the best of our knowledge, Brandon is the only youth in New York who has actually completed all of the requirements. Come right into the middle.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who helped me out along this journey, especially to 4-H and John and Dan who helped me throughout my PI. It was a long journey, but it was a fun one, and it definitely taught me a lot of things, and I'm excited to put my knowledge to those in need and to this community.
Yeah.
Next, we have our schedule update for, the Warren County Sheriff on the fishing investigation.
Good morning, everybody. I explained at the organizational meeting that this type of an update is really not a common practice for us. Since the organizational meeting, there's been a lot that's been going on. I've been following along, not just with our internal investigation, but business throughout the county. So I know that me being here this morning is absolutely necessary. And I hope that I can answer a number of more questions and get us all working together on that front. Before I get started, I have a couple requests for everyone in this room that's involved. Might not be my place. I might be stepping out of line a little bit, but I'm going to ask anyways. In the interest of our taxpayers, I'm going to ask us all to work together. This might be naturally an adversarial process while we're going through it. I explained that our investigation could be challenging. We're going to ask some hard questions. Some of the answers are not going to be comfortable for people. It's not personal, it's professional. And I think we all want to get to the bottom of this. We want answers. I'm sure most of you are aware that in the NFL, we're in the playoff season. And in football, when a ball's fumbled, the players don't turn to one another and say, I'm not diving on that ball, I didn't fumble it. Everybody dives for the ball. I'm asking everybody that's involved, put your heads together. Let's all work together and dive on this ball. Additionally, if everyone could please stop making public comments, stop sharing information, allow us to be the source of the recipients of the information and the source of release of any information. I can't stress it to you enough. Some of the things that are being released are potentially harmful to our progress. They're definitely making our work harder. So please, it can't do anything about it, but I'm imploring you, please stop. Ms. Norton, some of the information you're sharing is alarming the public. It's hurting us. So again, the messages you're sending, the information you're sharing on social media, I know that you want the best product when we're all said and done. Sheriff's Office, State Police Comptroller, please stop. If at the end you want to take credit for the money that's recovered, you want to share details, by all means, we're not looking for any credit, but in the meantime, please stop. I meet with community groups on a regular basis. And this week I met with a group of seniors. It's common practice for me. I love doing it. This group of seniors, by their choice, the topic of conversation was computer fraud, crime. And to be quite honest with you, they were anxious. And a healthy level of awareness, it's good. It keeps us all safe. But the level of anxiety they were feeling resulted from what we are doing here and our lack of professionalism. I meet with them. I assured them that this was not a sophisticated cyber attack, human error that any one of us could do. But if you follow simple precautions, it just shouldn't happen. So again, if you care nothing about the inner workings of our county government for the taxpayers, just let's get on track and start being more professional. One final request. Please direct any future communications to our sheriff's office to me. Do not direct them to any one of our members. Sending a letter to one of our investigators and accusing them of political underpinnings, it's not acceptable. We have two of our very best assigned to this case. They are working extremely hard. They have young families, and they have already in these past few weeks sacrificed a lot fighting for you and your office. In this very same letter that was sent to our investigator, the following statement was made. We have concluded with disappointment in the process that the involvement of the sheriff's department in the investigation based upon political statements is not an investigation with which we have confidence. I don't even know how to address that. I bring it to your attention because it's insulting and unacceptable, baseless, unnecessary. Final time I'm going to say, please stop. The only person in our sheriff's office that's made a single public statement is me. And that meeting, those statements were all recorded. I can assure you every statement I made was a statement of fact. Not my feelings, facts, objective facts, nothing more, nothing less. The information that we uncover, that we reveal, that we provide, again, it might be uncomfortable. It's not meant to embarrass. It's meant to inform our public. Pure and simple. That's it. I took an oath. I take that oath very seriously. I am an elected official and I answer directly to the public. I know that if one of my officers fails, I have a certain level of accountability. They don't follow policy, they don't follow procedure. I know that the buck stops with me. I'm at the top of the food chain. I also know that if I send them out to work and I don't provide them with policies, procedures, and guidance, 100% of that accountability falls on my shoulders. The fact is that Warren County fumbled the ball. They fumbled the ball without policies in place to offer direction. There's absolutely nothing political about that statement. To get into the specifics about the crime and the status of our investigation, everyone in this room knows that the county lost approximately $3.3 billion. Again, as a reminder, not an elaborate scheme, not sophisticated, human error. It started with an unknown person calling the treasurer's office. Multiple calls were made. Based upon the interviews we've conducted, the person who was calling had a thick foreign accent, and this accent was very difficult to understand. The person engaged in conversations with several members of the treasurer's office staff, solicited information, requested the opportunity to set up an ACH payment account. The person was directed on how to set up that account. The account was established and payments were made. Pure and simple. That's all that took place. Computer systems were not compromised, not a sophisticated intrusion, series of errors. A simple call to Peckham, a known vendor that we have dealt with for years, to verify this request to set up this account to a trusted number would have stopped that from happening, would have never occurred. Previously informed that on January 2nd, $1.2 million was recovered. It's back in the county's budget. Funds from the $2.1 million, they've been identified. Not all, some have been identified, located, frozen, and we are optimistic that those funds will be returned to us. I can't stand before you. I know roughly what those funds are, but it would be irresponsible of me to stand before you and tell you what we expect to get back, because there are a lot of unknowns. I will tell you, we are working very hard to have those funds returned. I am also working very hard with our federal partners to identify assets, because I want to make sure if we can't get every penny returned through that process, I want to go after assets, seize items, and I want to recover it with every lawful way possible. Our taxpayers should not be out one penny. Aside from the financial component, we are working still very closely with the New York State Police, Secret Service, FBI, and other law enforcement partners to really build a strong criminal case. Not only do I want your money back, our money back, I want to have whoever is involved and responsible held accountable. That's what I do. I take it very personal. That is personal. Another point that's really worthy of clarification, and I've been getting so many calls and inquiries on it, and it really is nothing more than white noise, is a fraud alert. A fraud alert that was sent out in the month of July by Peckham Materials Corporation. Before I touch on that specifically, I
I need to say that Peckham Materials Corporation had absolutely nothing at all to do with this crime. They are a good, sound business in our community. There was no access point, no intrusion. There is no nexus between Peckham Materials Corp. and this crime. And I feel bad that they've been mentioned so often. Stated previously, this is a very basic crime, very basic, simple. If I were to try to state that a fraud alert, a general fraud alert of this nature is significant, to put it in context, that would be like me trying to tell you that I didn't receive a notice from Dodge that driving a police car at a high rate of speed is dangerous. And I had an accident and therefore it's their fault because they didn't warn me that I shouldn't be driving that way. I've been doing this for 34 years. I know the hazards. I don't need a basic alert to get me to do my job. And any experienced accountant or CPA, if they need this type of alert to stop an ACH fraud, I think you should question their experience and competence. If conversations continue about this fraud alert, it's white noise, it's a deflection, and nothing more than that. I understand and I appreciate that the media is going to continue to inquire, they're going to continue to ask questions. I'm used to them standing out on my front sidewalk, demanding information. That's what they do, that's their job. I have full respect for that. I will insulate the county from that. I will hold the information and let the weight of that come down on me. Direct them to me, please. Ultimately, please, I want you to know that we are going to work hard. We're going to work diligent. Our team is fighting for you. Our team is fighting for you. Our team is fighting for the taxpayers. And we are making great progress. But everything that's been occurring over the past couple of weeks, it's disheartening for our team. It's affecting morale. It's making interviews more challenging. And I'm really hoping that after this brief update, we can get back on track and head in a better direction. Our sheriff's office will not be commenting any further. I can't answer any questions today. Just would not be proper. If you choose to go into executive session, I'm going to excuse myself. There's nothing that I would say to this group that I'm not willing to say to the public, same as last time. Rest assured that when we are done, every detail that the public needs to know, that all of you need to know, will be contained in our case file. At that point, if you have any questions, you need clarification, I will come to as many meetings as are necessary to provide you that information. Thank you.
Now we'll open up to, privilege for 1 minute, 3 minutes per speaker.
Good morning, Christine Norton, Treasurer of Warren County. I would like nothing more than a collaborative approach to this investigation. However, it has not been collaborative since 12/26, and 12/30. There are a lot of there are a lot of things going on here. I do not think the sheriff is objective. He did not tell you, objective facts. They were very one-sided. But again, putting that aside, I would like nothing more than to be collaborative in this approach, because there were communication and control breakdowns from the very top of this organization. And it is not just within the treasurer's office. I will tell you that I do not think the Peckham fraud alert is white noise. Sheriff LaFar likes to say that this is a very basic, fraud. Well, let me just make it clear: a fraud alert for one of your largest vendors, that should signal some concern, and that should be shared through the process. In addition, through the process, information went between DPW, who had the fraud alert and who saw the change from a check to an ACH. There's more here than you are being led to believe. And I want nothing more than to be collaborative. And I would like for everyone to understand all the facts And I think the only way we're gonna get those facts is through the office of the state controller. I think we should all wait until that investigation is done, because I think at that point in time, all of the communication and control pieces will have been identified. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address the board? Okay, we have a couple public hearings we need to do. The first one is local law number 2 of 2026 entitled local law superseding residency requirements of public officers. And I'll ask the clerk to please read the notice.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Warren, New York is considering the adoption of proposed local law number 2 for the year 2026, titled local law superseding the residency requirements of public officers law for positions of assistant district attorneys, assistant public defenders, and assistant county attorneys of Warren County. Notice is further given that pursuant to resolution number 514 of 2025, adopted by the Board of Supervisors on December 19th, 2025, a public hearing will be held by the Board of Supervisors in the Supervisors' Rooms at the Warren County Municipal Center, 1340 Route 9, State Route 9, Beesbury, New York, on January 16th, 2026 at 10 a.m., at which time and place all persons interested in the matter of such proposed local law number 2 for the year 2026 will be heard concerning same. A copy of said local law is available for inspection during regular business hours by contacting the clerk of the board at the above stated address and may be viewed on the Warren County website.
Okay, I'll open up public hearing at 10:22. Anybody wish to address the board on residency requirements? Sure.
As you'll note, with resolution 33, there's some bolded language and crossed out language, which were legal additions to the proposed local law to make sure that it's clear that the residency restriction still applies not only to the district attorney, the public defender, and the county attorney, but also the first assistant in each of those offices. So I just wanted to make sure everyone had the opportunity to see that modification, number one, and number two, on behalf of the district attorney, public defender, and myself, we thank our state legislators for moving this legislation through in the last session. And we hope that the board will support this local law because it puts our offices on an equal footing with the attorney offices in our surrounding counties, which have the same ability to hire from adjoining counties. So thank you.
Supervisor Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can someone explain to me or give me the background? What's the rationale as why they need all this?
I believe it's to get a better pool of candidates, basically to be able to get a better pool of candidates when we have openings in these offices. That's what I believe.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Thank you.
And this was all discussing committee.
Well, and to be more exact, there's been difficulties recruiting in all three offices. And this makes
Within the
it
confines of it as it.
within the boundaries of Warren County and from the available attorney pool in Warren County. So this provides more flexibility in looking for attorneys who may already reside in an adjoining county, or an attorney who's going to move to the area may be able, has more flexibility to find housing in adjoining county and still work for one of these offices.
Thank you.
And anybody else? Anybody from the public? Seeing none, I'll leave.
If there-
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, this will allow you to expand your recruitment pool for, depending upon the department. But they don't have to live in Warren County. That, and you're saying, is that correct?
They can take the oath of office and not be a resident of Warren County, but they would need to live adjoining county.
Right, so they didn't have to live in Warren County, they could live in adjoining county. Now, so you're saying that all the counties in the state are adopting this?
No, I'm saying that Saratoga County, Washington County, and Essex County have all already received this authority from the state of New York through legislation. Warren County has not, and that has put us at a material difficulty as compared, or Yeah, difficulty as compared to our sister counties that join us.
Basically,
Because they can recruit attorneys from Warren County to work in their offices. But we are limited to the confines of Warren County. As of today.
so they've all adopted it. Okay. So we would be one of the only counties that, if we don't adopt it, would be one of the only counties that require the residency requirement, correct?
You're saying only, but out of the counties that are joined Warren County, we would remain the county that can only hire attorneys for these offices if they reside in Warren County. I cannot speak to the counties across the state of New York because we mirrored our request last year to the state legislature to reflect what had already been provided to our adjoining sister counties. Saratoga, Washington, Essex.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll declare this public hearing closed. We'll have to our next public hearing. Thank you.
Notice is hereby given that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Warren, New York is considering the adoption of proposed local law number 3 for the year 2026, entitled "A Local Law Further Amending Local Law Number 8 of 1996 relative to the Delinquent Tax Installment Payment Plan." Notice is further given that pursuant to resolution number 531 of 2025, adopted by the Board of Supervisors on December 19th, 2025, public hearing will be held by the Board of Supervisors on January 16th, 2026 at 10 a.m. at Supervisors' Rooms of the Warren County Municipal Center, 1340 State Route 9, Queensbury, New York, at which time and place all persons interested in the matter of such proposed local law number 3 for the year 2026 will be heard concerning same. Copy of said local law is available for inspection during regular business hours by contacting the clerk of the board at the above stated address and may be viewed on the Warren County website.
Declare this public hearing open. Is there any questions on this proposed local law? Questions from the public? Okay, I'll declare this public hearing closed. We'll move on to
Right. That mentioned the public that was kind of lost there. I just wanted to ask if Larry has read this policy and how it's quite lengthy. A little confusing. But you have looked at this. And
My office constructed it, which is probably why it's lengthy, and the supervisor may find it slightly confusing. In defense of my office, if there is a defense needed, what this at its core does is it would put Warren County back in compliance with state. For many, many years, Warren County has had a policy for installment agreements that has not followed state law. Specifically, Warren County has had the policy through local law requiring a property owner to be in default multiple years. And for the property to be subject to foreclosure before the treasurer's office was authorized to enter into an installment. This local law conforms and follows the state law, which requires a county that is using an installment to permit the taxpayer to enter an installment agreement after a single year of default. There's some policy reasons why this is an important change to make now, over and above complying with state law, which is always the first reason. But given the change of law across the country as a result of the Hennepin County case before the United States Supreme Court, which prohibits counties from keeping surplus funds that result from foreclosure sales, from tax foreclosure sales, it's incumbent on us to do even more than we've done in the past to try to reduce the number of properties that go to tax foreclosure. This local law will make it easier, first and foremost, for our taxpayers to get into installment agreements, for those installment agreements to happen quicker and sooner in the process after 1 year of default, which makes the payment plans more reasonable and the payments lower so that they do not have to wait. If they're a residential property owner for 3 years of default to accrue, for interest to accrue at 12% per year, and penalties to accrue before they get the legal right in Warren County to enter into an installment. Now, after a year of default, they'll be able to enter the unit, which from a policy perspective is a significant change. There's some other tweaks that occur under this local law. They're not nearly as important, and they're procedural changes, such as instead of quarterly payments, which are very, very hard, we believe, we meaning the treasurer's office and the county attorney's office, are very hard for taxpayers to keep track of. It will now move to monthly payments like all other bills. So there would be a smaller monthly payment that would be due every month during the term of installment. Again, hopefully that assists in compliance and completion of the plan so that that property does not have to go into a tax foreclosure sale following multiple years of default. So those are really the executive summary of what this law accomplishes. Subject to any further questions that any supervisor may have.
Well, who's going to follow the pattern to make sure these people are paying their, what department is that gonna be? Is it the attorney? Is it gonna be real property? Is it gonna be treasurer?
Luckily, no one ever puts the lawyers in charge of the money. It's the treasurer's office, the Warren County Treasurer is the chief enforcement officer for tax enforcement for Warren County. And it's the treasurer who's responsible in her office for tracking, just as they've always done for many, many, many years, installment agreements and payments. And that will continue to reside in the rest of the treasurer's office. And the treasurer and treasurer's office was an important partner in reviewing, drafting, and finalizing the proposed local law that's being considered today.
And the only people that can do this have to put down a deposit. And where does the deposit sit in conjunction with what is owed to the county?
Historically, that was a question mark. There was a fixed 25% down deposit that was required. The problem with that was it was 25% of multiple years due plus interest plus penalties. This new local law does not require a fixed 25%. It's a cap of 25%. And we've rewritten the statute to avoid a potential legal issue that I'm not going to address in open forum. But taxpayers would be, in order, if they come in before multiple years of default, their down payment will be lower as well because the total that they owe. And then there's some accounting that accounts for interest, penalties, and principal on that.
Supervisor.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm in full support of this. I think the ultimate goal is to recover all of the money if we could improve and maybe make the process a little bit easier. I see this as decreasing the number of properties that come up on the annual auction, public auction. And that's, certainly a good thing. Thanks.
Anybody else? Supervisor Badang.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a question for County Attorney. Does this local law adoption today apply to the city of Glens Falls also?
No,
Okay.
the city of Glens Falls is a separate tax enforcement office. And they have their own tax enforcement officer that oversees the collection of the city tax.
Thank you.
Supervisor Patton.
Question for the county attorney. You had mentioned that properties.
Can you bring your mic?
I'm sorry. You had mentioned that properties will be eligible after 1 year for the installment plan, which I view as a benefit, but the way I understand it right now, I think it's either 2 or 3 years is when they go to the tax auction on properties that are delinquent. Does that change the number of years in which they would go to the tax auction?
The installment agreement is an off-ramp for property owners to avoid ending up in a foreclosure petition for foreclosure. So hopefully the installment agreement will help avoid. Currently, the current practice is those properties that are subject to tax foreclosure and end up in the annual lawsuit can then enter into an installment agreement to avoid the ultimate auction. This changes in the sense that a property owner can get into an installment agreement without first being in the tax foreclosure lawsuit, which is really the end of the process.
I guess my question is, does this make it go up for tax auction after 1 year as opposed to the 2 to 3 years that it takes now? If they choose not to enter into an installment plan?
No, the underlying state law remains the same. Property owners still need the same number of multiple years, depending on the type of property, before they're in a position where their property becomes subject to a tax foreclosure proceeding.
That answers my question. Thank you.
I apologize, I misunderstood.
Probably phrased it.
Anyone else? Seeing no other questions, we'll declare this public hearing closed. Go on to reports of committee. I have no report, but pretty busy with what's happening in the county. The one thing I will note that in the governor's state of the state speech, she is looking at some of the former prison properties and asking for, I believe, asking for a constitutional amendment. Put those back on the tax rolls. I think that will, or at least it's really going to help a lot of our northern communities and anybody who has a prison located, closed prison located in their jurisdiction. So I think that was a very positive by the governor at our AATV meeting this past Wednesday. It was well accepted by some of the northern towns that have prisons that are recently shut down. So I think it's a positive thing, and we should thank the governor for being for and looking at that. That was positive. As far as the rest of the state, I really haven't had a time to look at a summary of it. Supervisor Driscoll, would you like to address?
Thank you, Supervisor. First, I'd like to thank the chairman for my committee assignments. The Human Services Committee will not be meeting on Tuesday, January 20th. I'd like to thank the members of that committee, Supervisors Gilligan, Turner, Smith, Wild, Strainer, and O'Neill. We're going to be doing some real important work this year, and I thank you for your service. The Cornell Cooperative Extension will hold its monthly meeting on Monday, the 26th, because of the Martin Luther King holiday. That begins at 6 p.m. up in Warrensburg, and I'd like to thank Supervisors Bruno, Strainer, and Supervisor Niles. I'm certain that each of us will have a lot to do with continuing the good programs and services that Department of Extension provides. Thank you.
Want to mention it?
One of the resolutions, not sorry, the executive director of the Warren Hamilton County's Community Action Agency, or Action Committee for Economic Opportunity, 39 years with the agency, most of that as executive director. Lynn Akershuk passed away this past week unexpectedly. Lynn was truly a leader in the community. She was one of those leaders that was behind the scenes, wasn't really out in the public like some executives are, whether it's a not-for-profit or a for-profit. the agency administered a food pantry, weatherization assistance services. They were involved with case management. They had a number of programs and services in the community. They also served Hamilton County, which made them, I think, the largest geographical area that they served. There was a service for Lynn over in Salem this past evening. There was also in the, I think the obituary, anyone who would like to make a contribution to the Community Action Agency. They're located down at 190 Maple Street in the city of Glens Falls. Towards their food pantry or any other services that they provide would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Patrick,
No report.
Supervisor Casino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, I'd like to thank you for your committee assignments and look forward to working with everybody in the coming year. Occupancy tax committee will meet the first meeting of the year on January 20th at 12 noon. And park operations and management will be on January 21st at 10:05. Thank you.
Supervisor Niles. Supervisor Stroud.
No committee report.
Supervisor Wild.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a brief note, as new chair of economic growth and development, thank you for that. One of the things that was passed to us as supervisors this morning by Ethan Gaddy from our planning department is that there is a new infrastructure grant program. 2 phases. One's going to be expiring on the 31st of this month, which is 10 business days. The next is sometime in April, but it's up to $500,000 for projects directly supporting the creation of at least 10 housing units, $1 million for projects directly supporting the creation of at least 10 housing units. We'll discuss this in more detail on the 21st when economic growth and development occurs. But if you have any questions prior to that, please reach out to Ethan. I'm sure he'll gladly help you with the opportunities to address this grant opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Supervisor Etu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On January 13th, I met with our Assistant County Administrator and went over this year and next year's budget for 2 hours. Yesterday, I met with the sheriff and under sheriff and met with them for their budget for about an hour. Scheduled to meet with recently retired Supervisor Frank Thomas in Stony Creek on January 22nd to do the same. Scheduled to meet with Kevin Hajos on January 23rd to do the same. Janelle Jones on February 3rd. And our DSS Commissioner on February 5th. Those are the biggest 4 departmental budgets. Finance and budget is scheduled to meet on January 9th. Thank you.
Supervisor Strainer.
No report, but again, thank you for my committee assignments also.
Supervisor Beatty.
No report.
Supervisor O'Neill.
No report. Thank you for my assignments.
Supervisor Runyon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Personnel Committee met on December 5th. There's one resolution before you, number 33, entitled "A local law superseding the residency requirements of public officers law for the positions of Assistant District Attorney, Assistant Public Defenders, and Assistant County Attorneys, Warren County." Our next meeting will be on January 30th at 10 a.m.
Supervisor Conover.
No report.
Supervisor Mayday.
No report.
Supervisor Diner.
No report.
Supervisor Gilliard.
No report.
Supervisor Turner.
I do not have a report, but again, like everyone else, thank you so much for my committee assignments. And I would like to say that the, Tourism Committee will be meeting Tuesday, January 20th at 11 a.m.
Supervisor Freeland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. Thank you, as everyone else has said, the committee assignments and for the chairmanship of the County Facilities Committee. We will meet the County Facilities Committee Wednesday, January 21st at 9 a.m. And I'd also like to commend Supervisor Etu for agreeing to undertake the position of budget officer. That's, I think he's very capable and doing a great job. That's not a position that I would want. And I'm happy that he's agreed to fill that. Supervisor Thomas did a great job, in my opinion. And I think Mr. Eaton was equal. So thank you, sir.
Report of County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Short report this month. I'm sure you're aware of where our attention's been focused. We deeply appreciate the superb work by the Sheriff's Office and their investigators who are doing the internal criminal investigation and also the cooperation of almost everyone across the county workforce. We have still not yet heard from the State Comptroller's Office in response to the letter we sent them on January 9th, requesting an independent audit of the practices and procedures within the Treasurer's Office and any external departments or agencies the Comptroller deems practical. On January 9th, Heather and I attended a meeting with Supervisor Cressito set up with the Ironman Corporation to discuss the potential of Warren County hosting a 70.3-mile Ironman competition beginning in 2027. It's technically a half Ironman. There's a full Ironman competition already in Lake Placid every October. And the corporation thinks early June would be an ideal time to hold one here. The cost to the county would be about $200,000 per year. Ironman's a worldwide event that began in Hawaii in 1978. Coincidentally, I was there at the first Ironman competition, but not as a competitor, I'd add. This could potentially be a big win for Warren County. Many Lake Placid competitors view this as a training event, and also competitors will visit the Lake George area throughout the year to practice the course. So I think there's some real positive. We'll keep you posted on that. At the request of Liza Oxendorf, we recognize Gail Mender, who's retiring next week after 9 years of service to the Office of Workforce Development, and employee anniversary dates. I have a lot today. So at 20 years, Michael Wolf, Sheriff's Office, 20 years, Katrina Neal, Social Services, 21 years, Colby LaBelle, Sheriff's Office, 22 years, Susan Ringler, Public Defender, 23 years, Greg Seeley, Sheriff, 23 years, Dan Durkee, Public Health, 23 years, Bobby Broadway, Social Services, 23 years, Dustin Springs, Sheriff's Office, 23 years, Nancy Ovid of the District Attorney's Office, 24 years, David Didio of the Sheriff's Office, 25 years, Wayne Farmer of the Sheriff's Office, Corrections Division. Social Services, 26 years, Mary Kate Livingston. Joanne Finn at 28 years, Employment and Training. Russ Lale, Sheriff's Office, 29 years. Craig Briggs, Public Health, 33 years. And Bob Busey, Probation, 36 years. We also have, with 20 years, Kevin Garrity, Chairman of the Board. Ron Conover, 16 years. John Stroud, 12 years. Jack Diamond, 8 years. Mike Wild, 8 years. Ben Driscoll, 8 years. Dan Bruno, 6 years. Terry Como and Jim LaFar, both at 6 years. Deb Runyon at 4. The county clerk at 2. Haley Gilligan, John Mayday, Christine Norton, Josh Patchett, Dave Strainer, Nancy Turner, all at 2 years. And I'd like to highlight that Dave Strainer also served 6 additional years previously, and Doug Beatty 8 years previously. Thank you for your service to Warren County.
Thanks.
Report of County Attorney.
Thank you. Good morning. The 2026 tax foreclosure lawsuit has been filed. It was filed the very beginning of January. This year, there were 232 parcels listed in the 2026 tax foreclosure proceeding. That will proceed under the new set of state laws. Some people might remember it used to get filed in March, but now parties are getting a full 6-month period before the last day to redeem their outstanding taxes occurs. And that is a date that will be at the end of July. For comparison purposes, in 2025, there were 445 parcels in the tax foreclosure. So going down to 232 this year is a nice improvement in a really good direction. In connection with that, on January 23rd, there'll be mailings sent out to all interested parties for these parcels, meaning anybody that has a interest of record in the county clerk's office will receive a copy and notice of the tax foreclosure. There are 458 interested parties that will be notified later this month. And then you may see the start of publications for the notice of the tax foreclosure occurring in the local newspapers starting January 24th, and then running 2 more times after January 24th to make sure everybody has the best opportunity to be notified and that Warren County follows state law for notification. I'll provide a full report on notices of claims and the status of lawsuits at the initial personnel meeting. Should be a lot of fun, so just trying to solve that one. I do want to take an opportunity to thank the remaining members of the Board of Ethics who completed their term December 31st of 2025. Dr. James Hicks was the chair of the Board of Ethics as it concluded its term. Kim Diaz and Paula Hayes were also members throughout the 2-year term. I thank all 3 of them, as the remaining members did suffer some attrition over the course of that 2-year term. And hopefully the Personnel Committee can start looking towards appointments to refill the membership of the Board of Ethics going forward. I do want to remind all supervisors and individuals in Warren County who have an obligation to file financial disclosure statements that they are due to my office January 31st. Thank you for getting them there earlier if possible. And I do want to ask at the appropriate time if the supervisors would consider an executive session for the purpose of the county attorney addressing potential waiver of attorney-client privilege for a certain matter and to address potential claims. That would be my entire report.
Going to reading of communications.
We have the county auditors, real property, tax corrections reports for November and December of 2025. A letter from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation regarding Chestertown Historic District boundary increase and additional documentation. Letter from Larry Ellman, County Attorney, stating his order of succession for Assistant County Attorneys. And then letter from Kevin Garrity, Chairman of the Board, to the New York State Comptroller regarding Warren County request for financial audit and performance.
Reading of resolutions.
Proclamations 1 through 4, resolution number 19 through 34, certificates of appointment 1 through 3, and floor resolution numbers 1 through 10 were distributed to the board and posted to the Warren County website on Tuesday, January 13th. Floor resolution numbers 11 through 14 were posted and distributed on January 14th. Proclamations before you are number 1, Blood Donor Month, number 2, Human Trafficking Prevention Month, number 3, Mental Wellness Month, and number 4, Radon Action Month. Motion is needed to bring floor resolution number 1 to the board.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to bring floor resolution number 1. Motion by Supervisor Runyon, second by Supervisor Strauss. Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 1 will now be resolution number 35. Motion to bring floor resolution number 2 to the floor.
Motion being floor resolution number 2. Supervisor Gilligan. Second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 2 will now be resolution number 36. Motion to bring floor resolution number 3 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Turner to bring floor resolution number 3, second by Supervisor Lucido. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 3 will now be resolution number 37. Motion to bring floor resolution number 4 to the floor.
Motion to bring forward resolution number 4. Supervisor Strainer, we have a second. Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 4 will now be resolution 38. Motion to bring floor resolution number 5 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Pageant, we have a second by Supervisor O'Neill. Bring forward resolution number 5 to the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 5 will now be resolution 39. Motion to bring floor resolution number 6 to the floor.
Resolution number 6, Supervisor Runyon, do we have a second? Supervisor Etu. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 6 will now be resolution number 40. Motion to bring floor resolution number 7 to the floor.
Motion that's number 7. Supervisor Wild, second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 7 will now be resolution 41. Motion to bring floor resolution number 8 to the floor.
Motion on for resolution number 8. Supervisor Gilligan, second by Supervisor O'Neill. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 8 will now be resolution 42. Motion to bring floor resolution number 9 to the floor.
Supervisor Runyon, second by Supervisor Turner. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 9 will now be resolution number 43. Motion to bring floor resolution number 10 to the floor.
Floor number 10 by Supervisor O'Neill, second. By Supervisor Niles. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 10 will now be resolution number 44. Motion to bring floor resolution number 11 to the floor.
Number 11 by Supervisor Runyon. We have a second. Second by Supervisor O'Neill. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 11 will now be resolution number 45. Motion to bring floor resolution number 12 to the floor.
Or resolution number 12 by Supervisor Wild. Do we have a second? Supervisor Pageant. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 12 will now be resolution number 46. Motion to bring floor resolution number 13 to the floor.
Floor resolution number 13 by Supervisor Turner, second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 13 will now be resolution number 47 and motion to bring floor resolution number 14 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Etu to bring floor resolution number 14 to the floor, second by Supervisor Bruno. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 14 will now be resolution 48, and I would note that resolutions 36 and 40 will be roll call votes. I also have a note on the certificate of appointment number 3 concerning the board appointments. That's a direct appointment by the chairman, which does not require board authority. On that, it currently lists Mr. Strainer as being appointed, and we are swapping him off and putting on Ms. Gilligan. She was put on partway through the year last year, so she'll just be continuing that.
Is there any refusals from voting on any resolutions? Seeing none. Discussion on resolutions. Any discussion from the public? Any board discussion on resolutions? Vice President.
Yes, I'd like a roll call vote on 33. That's the one about residency. And I'd just like to make a comment that as much as I see the advantage in expanding a potential pool of candidates and attorneys, last I knew we had over 1,000 attorneys in Warren County. And I'm a firm believer in, if you're going to work in our county, you should be a neighbor, a taxpayer, and have a vested interest in the town, which you live in the county. So as much as I see the positive side on expanding an employment pool of people who don't live in the county working here, I'm going to have to vote no on that because, again, for the reasons stated above, it's just creates a much more positive, much more in tune atmosphere when the people that are paying the bills can see them as neighbors and talk to them as neighbors and get a feel for them because they're employed in the county. So, as much as I'd like to vote yes on that, I'll have to vote no on 33. Thank you.
Any other discussion on resolutions? Supervisor Now.
Is there any preference given to a resident during the evaluation selection process? Same resolution 33.
On behalf of the county attorney's office, I can't answer that question because we've not been able to hire or consider someone to date who lives outside of the county.
Good point.
I think it would be one of the core considerations is having somebody apply. My office has had an open position since February that we've not been able to fill. In part because there are no qualified candidates that are seeking to work. I will limit it to my office in the county attorney's office at the rate of pay that is currently offered.
I'd just like to add, thank you, Mr. Chair, that we've had the same, this was actually brought forward initially to us by the district attorney who has had some challenges in his office, and the public defender has also had challenges. So that's really where this originated, and then we realized that we were having the issue across the board. As far as preference, I think that we always look at best qualified applicants, who applied.
Thank you.
Supervisor, you do.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you remind us, County Attorney, you said in committee that, for example, I think the first ADA does have to live in Warren County because he does have to be able to assume the roles of the DA who does have to live in the county himself. Is it that position, any others?
It's the first designated for each of the three offices. So the first assistant public defender, the first assistant district attorney, and the first assistant county attorney, all on the order of succession. Assume the responsibilities of their of the district attorney, public defender, and county attorney if those people are not available to perform their duties. So for that purpose, the requirement is that they reside in Warren County. Supervisor Brady.
So with that portion of this resolution, with that, they then would not have to work in the live in the county? Would that then eliminate that, or?
The local law that's before you, that's been published, requires
Right.
the first assistant in district attorney's office, public defender's office, and county attorney's office to reside in Warren County. They may not reside outside of Warren County if their title is first assistant DA, first assistant public defender, or first assistant county attorney.
I'm still confused. So can they live outside if we pass this today? Will they be allowed to move to Saratoga County?
No,
Okay, all right. And that goes for first, second, third,
no,
just the first assistant.
yes.
So the second, third will be able to live in Saratoga or
Second, third, fourth,
Brooklyn or
fifth,
wherever they
10th,
want.
12th, 15th, depending on which office you're talking about. There are many, many attorneys between these three offices.
Right.
It is only the first assistant in each of the three offices that must continue to reside in Warren County in order to serve in that position.
So we could have staff that technically, other than the top attorney and the first assistant that lives in Albany, you could have staff that lives in Albany.
No, that's not what the local law says, Supervisor. The local law
No,
says.
if it changes.
No, the local law that's before this board today allows the attorneys in each of those three offices, other than the first assistants and the principals, the county attorney,
Right.
the public defender, the DA,
I'm with you.
to live in an adjoining county. So an adjoining county would be Saratoga County, Washington County, or Essex County.
Okay, so
They can't live in Albany, they can't live in
okay,
Plattsburgh,
that's
they can't live in Syracuse.
that was my mistake. It wasn't Albany County, but they can live in any other county that's adjoining Warren County.
Yeah, the three
So
counties.
they're not taxpayers of Warren County. Okay, that clarifies it. That's what I
Any
thought.
other, on resolutions? We're gonna vote on resolution.
Okay, resolution number 33, enacting local law number 2 of 2026, entitled a local law superseding the residency requirements of public officers law for the positions of the assistant district attorneys, assistant public defenders, and assistant county attorneys of Warren County. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Niles,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
No.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Chairman Garrett.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 858 votes in favor. Resolution number 34, enacting local law number 3 of 2026, entitled a local law amending local law number 3 of 1997, a local law further amending a local law number 8 of 1996 relative to the delinquent tax installment payment plan. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Niles,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Chairman Garrett.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 947 votes in favor. Resolution number 36, amending Warren County budget for 2026 for the Workforce Development Agency. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Niles,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Chairman Garrett.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 947 votes in favor. Resolution number 40, authorizing appropriations for budget code A 863, reserve insurance to fund property and casualty self-insured deductible lines for the Department of Public Works, Warren County Sheriff, Department of Social Services, Warren County Health Services, and amending Warren County budget for 2026. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Niles,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strain,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Chairman Garrett.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 947 votes in favor.
Motion to approve the rest of the resolutions. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Carried.
If it's the pleasure of the board, I would ask the supervisors to consider a motion to go into executive session. The purpose of the executive session would be to address the potential waiver of attorney-client privilege as to a certain matter and to address claims. And the basis for the motion would be under Public Officers Law, Section 105(1) D, discussions regarding proposed, pending, or current litigation. F, matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. And the conversations and topic would also be subject to Public Officers Law, Section 108, subparagraph 3, any matter made confidential by federal or state law.
Motion to go into executive session by Supervisor Bruno, second by Supervisor Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in executive session.
Yes.